How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age. And
I am the voice, and I am not.
why did you feel the need to say that?
You didn't give me very many lines.
That wasn't an accident. I am the curator, and this is
The Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
See, you could have just started with that.
Could have, but didn't.
Anyways, this is a request video.
Put the requester up in the corner.
I got this. I've made a video before, you know.
Yes, you have.
Anyways, this is a request video that I meant to do some time ago. This came from the Marvel Zombies Destroy review, which I did as a special. That is a few videos back. If you wanted to watch that one, that's a great storyline about Golden Age heroes taking on World War Era II Nazi zombies. That's a good one, and a lot of Golden Age characters. If you want to see one of them, this comes from that one. This is the Red Raven. Now, this does come out of Timely Comic Books, and I'm not huge on doing established characters that are still part of the publication that they started in. One of the main reasons is their bio is always subject to retconning. So if I were to give his entire bio today, it could change tomorrow, or it could change 6 weeks from now to where my information would be inaccurate and out of date. It happens with Captain America a lot. When they want to bring in something new or something that hadn't been done before in the comic books and they want to find a place to squeeze it in, Captain America is always a good place to do that because the World War II is wide open for him. So whenever they do a storyline about stuff that he did in the past, that gets included in part of his bio. The same thing happened with Red Raven. Not too long ago, when the Terrigen bomb went off, we found out that the race of people that he was brought up with, the Birdmen, were Inhumans that didn't want to be part of the Inhuman colony anymore. That's what I mean about retconning. Before the Terrigen bomb, I never would have said anything like that because they weren't. So that is one of the reasons that I don't do established characters very much. I give a short intro of Red Raven, and I did cover his first issue. First issue is never going to change, and that's his origin story. So let's go ahead and give a quick overview of Red Raven, and then we'll cover his first issue. It's an interesting story. It's not a bad story. There's not a lot of stuff that comes out of Timely in the Golden Age that I actually objected to in any serious way. So let's get started with this.
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
I gave you less lines, and you still find it a way to say a lot, didn't you?
Can't have too much of a good thing.
Let's do this Lost Heroes of the Golden Age with the Red Raven. Now, I don't claim to know a terribly whole lot about Red Raven or how much he was actually, how much of his bio actually took place in the Golden Age. I mean, this issue, this comic book that I'm going to review, obviously did. But a lot of what was written about Red Raven being part of the Liberty Legion was actually a comic book storyline that came out in the 70s that was based in the time of the Golden Age, much as the same way that the Invaders were. And in fact, the Liberty Legion was formed to rescue the Invaders. But like I said, these were storylines created in the 70s based on the Golden Age. That is one of the problems with reviewing an established character, is anytime that they want to do a storyline that involves this character in some way, if they involve the past at all, it changes their bio. And even if a storyline were to come out today in 2022 about Red Raven and saying that he did this in 1944, 47, 48, you would go into his character bio and then you would change that. And that makes it difficult to go through their character bio because you don't know what was written about him in the Golden Age that was actually part of the Golden Age and what was written in the 2000s, which is now retconned to be part of his Golden Age. But the Liberty Legion was something that he did. They've given more story to him, like in regards to his outfit. We know that he was fashioned with wings, but that doesn't make much sense to flying. I think later on that they would say that he had anti-gravity machines inside of his suit, which allowed him to take flight in the air, which actually would make more sense. And I do believe that they said that the race of Birdman that lived high in the sky was part of, they were Inhumans. I think that the last storyline that involved Red Raven was of the time, a number of years ago, when they launched the Terrigen bomb on Earth and the winged people got infected by it. I believe that's the last time that Red Raven was involved in the comic books. But as long as you have Captain America, you're always going to have an opportunity to have Golden Age characters come back in the comic books in some way, because that is the World War II. But he's never been an overarching character where he's been very popular. Now, this did come out of the Zombies Destroy storyline that I did cover. He's largely different in that storyline than he presents himself to be in this comic. He seemed a bit misogynistic in that storyline. But let's go ahead and cover the Red Raven. It's not a small story. It's, I think, 14 pages. They definitely did something with this. They gave him a storyline, and it's definitely a Golden Age story. I like the paneling. I like the artwork. A couple of things that were left out of it that probably should have been in there. But let's go ahead and cover the first issue of Red Raven so you can see where they were kind of going to go if they had continued, because the Red Raven only has the one issue. Let's do this. Red Raven, first name unrevealed. Red Raven first appeared in Red Raven Comics #1 under the publication of Timely Comics. Was created by Joe Simon. Now, I believe that the cover art was actually done by Jack Kirby. And by judging by the cover art, I would have no trouble believing that. I mean, it looks like... I mean, you know Jack Kirby, he can put an action-packed scene into his still illustrations. Okay. What I've been able to see is it says cover art by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon, which, yeah, they were both in Timely at the time. The Red Raven, into the maelstrom of crime and corruption that calls itself civilization, swoops a powerful, mysterious champion known only as Red Raven. He has dedicated his life and powers to the defense and preservation of decent society on Earth. Well, that's never going to happen. I'm sorry to break it to you. Okay, so we come to the opening scene, and this will serve as his origin story. On a stormy night, the Clipper ship, winging its way across the treacherous Pacific, suddenly is thrown off course. I can't control. The ship is doomed. The aviator starts to lose control of the ship. Something at the plight of the ill-fated ship, a mother offers a prayer for the safety of her baby. Now, I'm a little confused by this. This kid doesn't even look over the age of 2 and says, "Mama, I'm frightened." What kid that age uses the word frightened? I don't think I was even late until my single digits before I would have used the word frightened. You should have used the word scared. Now, I do enjoy the paneling through this entire first issue. Not only is the paneling done correctly, it's done in clever ways. I mean, you have the small leading into a big, into another big, but the way they lead into each other is perfect and set up perfectly for the flow of the comic. Okay. Suddenly, the plane crashes into a rock that is in the sky. Let's see. Catapults fiercely into a mysterious floating island and the clouds and crashes to its doom. Now, the plane is a fiery wreck and is being surrounded by what you would think would be angels. I mean, it only looks like angels, but these are winged people. The morbidly curious group of birdmen. Okay. They crowd around the plane and they hear crying coming from the inside, so they reach inside. They pull the baby boy out of the plane. Mama, I want my mama, let me go. He's rather articulate for a young kid. Let's see. The weird birdmen take the lone survivor of the Holocaust to the king's castle. So there's a castle up in the clouds. How come no one's ever found this? Okay. The gods spared only this waif something. So the king starts to talk to the birdman. The king describes the child as he cannot possibly understand what it is he is seeing with his young mind. And one of the other bird people wants to kill the child. Good God. Morbidly curious is right. The king decides, he says, stop, we shall raise him as the strongest and wisest human. There is a need for such a man in this wicked world. I thought this was made in 1941, not 2022. Okay, anyways. The number of years have gone by, and this young man has undergo training, guided wisely by the kindly king and his birdmen. The orphan youth grows wiser and stronger with each passing year. The strange existing conditions which enables the birds to outgrow the slow pace of usual evolution has affected the king's human ward as he has learned the secrets of the birds. Why would he learn the secrets of the birds with the birdmen? Okay, anyways. He comes to the king on his 21st birthday, and the king wants him to go down to earth to help out. Let's see. You are brave and our boldest bird, the raven. I shall call you Red Raven. And with your aid of the wings we made you, you shall go back to the people and devote your life to eradicating elements that make for unhappiness in their world. This is my wish. Again, we're reflecting elements of 2022. Okay, so as you wish, regal father, is my command. I shall go back to my people. Unhappy is my departure. So he goes back to Earth and he notices, let's see, the Red Raven, primarily investigation, reveals endless breadlines, poverty, disease, and shattered hopes everywhere. Yeah, like I said, 2022. As he's waiting in the personnel office, someone tries to cut in front of him, and he knocks out the guy who's trying to cut the line. And apparently a giant fight ensues, and the police throw tear bomb. Tear bomb thrown by police. Disperse and shatters all except the Red Raven, who remains for more action. Come back. I'm just getting warmed up. Yeah, that's your kindly. Instead of telling the guy, hey, don't be cutting the line, or, hey, no cuts, or, try to be more gracious to people, he just knocks them out. Okay. And then we reveal the subterranean castle of Zemlio, the ruthless demon who has been draining the world of its riches through various nefarious means, has watched the episode involving the Red Raven through his gazmograph Okay. Machine. A mechanism complete... Or... A mechanism... It's a mechanism that allows him to see what's going on. Ah, a brave and powerful hoodlum. I could use him. So he sends his thugs to go, bring the Red Raven before him, and the police are hauling him off. These guys show up just in the nick of time, shoot the cops, and then snatching the Red Raven from police, the thugs toss a deadly missile. Why are you throwing missiles? Anyways, they bring the Red Raven before them, and they start trying to discuss, what it is they're about. As they bring him before the head guy, who, it's gold. He's running his hands through his gold. The Red Raven goes willingly to the lair, so he wants to get set before the big guy so he knows who to deal with. This guy talks to the Red Raven and tries to convince him to join his crew, and apparently he gets a hold of some of the gold. I will not serve you, fiend, and throws the gold in his face, which makes this guy trigger a trapdoor which he falls into. In this chamber you shall age 100 years in an hour and die of old age. In a pit? Okay. Bring me the other retransient one. She shall die in bad company with that cur. Now that is recalcitrant. Recalcitrant. I had to look that up because I've never heard that word before. Now, recalcitrant means, as an adjective, having an obstinately uncooperative attitude towards authority or discipline, or, as a noun, a person who is obstinately uncooperative attitude. Wow, that sounds like me. I may be a recalcitrant. Anyways, the lady in yellow gets tossed in the pit, and he said, "This is for obeying me. Disobeying me, you shall live your entire life in but an hour." So they throw her into the pit, and a door closes, and some gas starts to get released. And I'm suspecting it's the gas that ages them. So as the gas starts to spread, he sheds the clothes that he's in, and the wings come forth. My memberous wings will save us. Who are you? So he picks up the girl and he flies towards the opening. And it says, despite his extraordinary strength, it's like the Red Raven, despite his extraordinary strength, cannot open the trap door. And he can't open the trap door until he does. Because it says that even though his strength is handicapped by the fact that he's carrying her, he actually does budge the door open. So what was the point of saying that he couldn't budge open the trap door if he does manage to budge open the trap door? Don't weaken. Remember, life begins at 40. That's what she says. So he manages to open the trap door, and they leap out of the hole. And as he does, the smoke starts to follow him. Blast that dog to kingdom come. And she says that the main bad guy is escaping as he knocks a couple of guys out. He grabs this main bad guy, the demon as they called him, and he throws him into the pit that they just escaped from. And then he lights a flame, and it says, "This room, when the gas fills this room, it will be blown to smoke." Okay. A couple of problems with this. First of all, not all gas is flammable. Just because it's gas doesn't mean it will blow up. I mean, number one. Number two, I think that the gas would get snuffed out before the entire room is filled. I mean, there wouldn't be any more oxygen at that point to burn the gas. And third point, if the gas was flammable, the whole room would not have to be engulfed in the gas before it would blow up. If any part of the gas is flammable, it would ignite the minute it hit the flames. Theoretically, they wouldn't even have a chance to get out if that was even the case. She says faster, the room is filling with gas, and then boom, it blows up. And if you look at some of the black in the background, you can see people's bodies in the explosion. He saves the girl, and they apparently seem to be flirting. He drops her off, and as he flies away, they all come to her, these reporters, and start asking questions about the Red Raven, and she answers it the best that she can. But the story is not over yet. Having rid the world of the fiendish gold leech, the Red Raven returns to the land of the Birdmen to report. Yes, he's dead, but his henchmen are free at other gold caches to continue his sinister deeds. So he says that he needs to find the other gold, and he doesn't know how to track them down, so they go to a bird scientist who creates an element detector. When the needle points to 17.000 magnetic purloins, it designates the presence of gold. And when bust the powers of scientific deduction, I shall ferret out the other thieves. Now, his wings are bat wings. They're not like the other people's wings at all. As he's flying over the city, he cannot detect the gold, so he decides that he's going to make the henchmen come to him. What he does is he goes to the breast room and he starts detecting where the gold is and shows them that it is actually working. So they write about it in the paper. With the trap set, the Red Raven waits for the bait to be snatched. Where is he sitting at? I mean, this is like his first day in the city. He can't have an apartment already. Okay. I mean, unless they decided to put him up in a hotel or something because he's the featured story. I don't know. Okay, anyways, the crooks break in and we'll table this discussion for a while. Oh, puns. Okay, so he beats up the bad guys who come shooting at him, knocks them out, and carries one into the air, and he says, "Lead me to your stronghold or go crashing to your death." No, don't drop me, I'll lead you. Anything you say. So you got the stronghold of the gold thieves, Zelmion's, I don't know, successor, Radico, has watched the Red Raven through his Geismograph machine. Geismograph machine? What in the world? Where is camera? The Red Raven, I'll clip his wings. He laughs way too much. It actually gets annoying. Okay, so he sets a trap for the Red Raven. "Come into my parlor," said the That's Spider to the Fly. I mean, he didn't complete the quote. So he hangs the guy out on the cliff edge and hang around here for a while. As he flies into the facility, he gets captured by the net. A bird in the net is worth 2 on the wing. So he tells them that he's going to die. So they bash him in the back of the head and they toss him into this vibrato machine. It's one of the most horrible torture devices. This vibrates at such a rate that it will shatter every bone in your body. Now, the Red Raven comes to his senses just in the nick of time, and he starts to float in the machine so that he won't have to touch the bottom or the edges. Cut the power. He must be dead inside. I'm glad the machine was big enough that his wings could unfurl and keep him afloat. He is a goner. The Red Raven pretends that he is dead, and they leave. They just leave him in there. Okay. When the thieves have departed, Red Raven makes good his escape. Now, he is showing these thugs. Let's see. Through the future scope, Ratago unveils his plans. he shows them what they're going to be doing from the future scope. He made a movie. That's all I can say. He talks about how they are going to be descending on these munition forts and nobody will stand a chance. And all of a sudden, it's the Red Raven. This shall never be. And they're shooting at him at point blank range, and they didn't hit him. They don't say anything about him being bulletproof, just that they didn't hit him. He says, I'll take this, the royal scientist said, 17.00 from detecting gold and 18.00 from drawing the gold. He never said that. I shall drown these fools in their filthy riches. A twist of the dial to 18.00 causes the gold in the walls to cascade into the room like a waterfall. Well, he killed them. He's killed a lot of people. In this one issue, he's killed so many people. And at 20.00 purlons, the machine condenses the molecules in the air into red gas. Oh, I don't know how any of this works. So he writes in the sky, police follow the line. It's the Red Raven. And a little later, we have this. And the mysterious Red Raven puts the finishing touches to the job he began recently. Not only did he restore the wealth which had been hampering economic progress, but in his one-man, or shall we say bird, no you shouldn't, war against the wicked criminals, he prevented wholesale slaughter and future world from slavery and bondage. No. That last sentence is no. No. Anyways, he's wonderful. Oh, now what I thought was interesting here was at the very end, follow the exciting adventures of the Human Torch in every issue of Marvel Comics. Now, it was still timely, but they had a publication called Marvel back then. Marvel Comics number 9 issue, Human Torch versus the Submariner. Yes, they are advertising another publication of another superhero, of another comic book at the very end of the Red Raven. In fact, all the stories at the end of the Red Raven comic book would be... one of the stories says, turn to Marvel Comics, and the other one talks about Mystic Comics. And this was the only issue of the Red Raven, but it would not be his only time he would appear. I've got another request video coming out of the Marvel Zombies Destroy, so we'll be doing that next week. If you have a hero that you want to see me cover on here, the more lost, the better. You can go ahead and request that, or if you want to request another Golden Age character that came out of Marvel Zombies Destroy, go ahead and give that video a look. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.